Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jalen,
Jalen? Who's Jalen?
a.k.a.
And
Hurley.
Oh, it's Hurley.
and we are here with our special guest, Jalen Hurley. It's been we talked about right before, about 4 years now since you were last on. How have you been doing?
It's been definitely a long time. Moved from Bismarck, North Dakota, down to Phoenix, so a little bit warmer. Bought a house, have a kid now, so lots changed.
Mm. And we're here to talk about Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. Perfect movie to talk about with
Absolutely.
just having a kid.
Being a parent, being a good, healthy parent. That's what this movie was about.
So I'll kind of tell our audience we were planning a few movies to do, and I suggested Frankie Frico, and I watched Frankie Frico, and about 38 minutes in, I texted both of you and was like, "We need to switch what movie we're doing." I swear that might be in my top 10 worst movies that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh wow.
It was so unfunny, and it felt like sketch comedy in college that you kind of know going in oh, it's not gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Okay.
But the people think that they are the greatest and the funniest people that you have ever met, to the point where it's insufferable.
Oh boy.
That was the movie.
Jeez.
Did you finish or did you just stop?
I watched all of it.
Yeah.
So it's a do not recommend?
Do not recommend.
Do not recommend. Has there ever been a movie that you've stopped watching?
No. I usually push through because I'm like, you know what? I sat down to watch this. I'm gonna finish this.
Yeah.
And it took an hour. It was an hour and 22-minute movie, I think. Probably took around 3 hours for me to finish it because I had to take a break during the middle of it. I was like, okay, hold on. I need a reset right now.
Jeez, that bad.
Yeah. And also, when we were talking about, is it a Donnie Darko, parody, all of that? No. Not at all.
Oh, not at all. Okay. So just that's a cute name. That has nothing to
Yeah.
do with Donnie Darko.
Yeah, it's by the same director of Psycho Gorman. Don't know if you've ever heard of Psycho Gorman. I recommend it more than Frankie Frico, but Psycho Gorman is also not a good movie.
Ah, okay. Well, I don't feel that bad then.
Yeah, because we got to watch one of my favorite movies. This is in my top 20 favorite horror movies of all time.
This one is?
Yes. And
Okay.
I know it's not good. It's not a great movie. Listen,
Okay.
I will go ahead and say it. Hot take,
Okay.
it's not a great movie.
Oh, good.
But
You're
I
a
have...
little nervous. You're both like...
I have such a fun time watching this movie.
There is some ridiculousness in this that makes it fun.
I think it's just nonstop ridiculousness that makes you keep watching. It's okay, they did this stupid thing. What stupid thing are they gonna do next?
Yeah, what else are they gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Hurley, I want to ask you, because we started you off with The Dark and the Wicked. And now we got to Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. So, tell us your thoughts going in. Were you is this going to be another Dark and Wicked, or what were you thinking?
I mean, you were texting me, we're oh, we're gonna watch this movie. Oh wait, this movie sucks. Let's find a different movie. And then you sent through Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I'm pretty interesting title. And then Ryan's reply, just wait.
Just wait.
So Monday. So Monday night I watched it. Pulled it up on the computer. I was like, oh, 1982. This should be interesting. And like first scene happens. I text Ryan, hey, oh, like what's going on?
What's going on?
But yeah, I'd say kind of like complete opposite kind of horror from the Dark and the Wicked.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, Dark and the Wicked was a paranormal, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
dark, like depressing, moody
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I mean, from the title, I had no idea what to expect. I don't know. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, maybe it's going to be like some butcher that just murders a bunch of people
Mm,
in the night. I don't
same.
like
Yeah,
kills people in his butcher shop at night. I wasn't expecting what ended up happening.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so a little bit of information about Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. It came out in the 80s, like we said, in 1981. Uh, the original title was Night Warning. Also, does not make sense with the movie why it's called
Yeah.
that, because Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker is a play on a nursery rhyme that doesn't have anything to do with the movie.
Hmm. She is. There is a point where the only whatever this murderous aunt that we're dealing with here. There is a moment where she's whistling or humming uh, a lullaby. And I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if she's. I was trying to figure out what she was whistling. I wonder if that's what it was. But it's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be the probably was. But still, like the name does not. No, I thought it was going to be a
Doesn't
slasher. Yeah, just like Joe.
yeah.
I thought it was going to be a slasher, and that's it. And
Mm-hmm.
it honestly seems like it's a bit more of like an intense thriller than a slasher, really, up until only until the end.
Yeah, it's a hagsploitation mostly, which is like our psycho hag with films like Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte or Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where we have a character, and I guess this is kind of spoilery, but not really. Um, we have an aunt who, we won't say the full spoiler of who this person actually is until later in this, but we'll just say aunt for now, Aunt Cheryl, who has incestuous feelings for her nephew.
Yeah, yeah, that was a surprise. That's not what I thought we were getting into. I
Oh
just,
yeah.
but I right away, almost right away, you're kind of like, oh, this is a little weird.
Yeah. What, you're
It
telling
is.
me that her going behind him like when he's sleeping and purring in his ear and
Oh,
scratching his back,
Uh,
is it
uh,
weird?
yeah, yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I wanted it so badly to not be that,
Hmm.
and then the movie kept going, and it was like, oh no, she's obsessed with him.
Oh yeah. It gets worse as the movie goes on, and there's a scene, the milk scene, we'll just say that for now, where
Mm-hmm.
like audible gasps are made every time like I show it to someone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't even know where to begin with this one.
Yeah. But one thing I want to mention is a few years ago, it might have been 2 years ago or now, uh, we're about to talk a little football. Do you guys know Jerome Baker on the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah,
Linebacker.
yeah,
He got an interception and then
okay,
returned it for a touchdown. He had to pick six.
yeah.
And the NFL tweeted out Jerome Baker, touchdown maker. And I was like, is this a Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker reference that the NFL's doing?
Oh man. Oh
or
I
man.
they're
mean,
just
really, they were just doing the
rhyming.
nursery rhyme, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was just so funny seeing that.
What is the nursery rhyme?
Oh, I gotta look it up. The nursery rhyme. It's a little bit different. I know it's butcher, baker, candlestick maker is the actual.
Okay. Okay.
Let me see if I could find the actual lyrics to it. Okay. So it goes, rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. And who do you think they be? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and all of them out to sea.
Is it a queer lullaby?
I don't know. I mean, it would fit the kind of the themes in this, but that is what is the one that exists today. The earliest recording of it was, hey, rub-a-dub-ho, rub-a-dub, 3 maids in a tub, and who do you think were there? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and all of them gone to the fair. So that one, they're going to see maids in a tub at a fair?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah. So, we're going to be talking about how insane this movie is and the things that happen in it. And there's so many, like, there's a few behind the scene things that are also so insane, but add to the movie's background and lore to it. So I'm going to kind of go over those things now, and then we'll start talking about the movie.
Okay.
All right. So, firstly, our director is William Asher, but he is not the original director. The original director was this guy named Michael Miller. And he filmed the opening sequence of the movie. That the car crash. He is the director of that part. That is the only thing that he directed to the movie. Because him and the cinematographer at the time, I'm going to completely butcher this name, Jean de Bont, Dutch cinematographer, he directed Speed and Twister.
He directed Twister?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting because of Bill Paxton.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Bill Paxton, who plays like the bully.
Yes. And he shoots a lot of like car chase scenes and crashes and everything like that with, films like Speed. So he was known at the time. He was a pretty well-known cinematographer that it was pretty crazy him being fired from set, as well as Michael Miller, because the opening scene is pretty cool, but it took a week to film, and the production company was like, "You're going to be wasting our money. You're gone."
Wow.
And so they get replaced with William Asher, who I don't know if you guys know who William Asher is.
No. Well, it doesn't
So
you, actually.
He directed a bunch of episodes of I Love Lucy.
Oh.
And he directed episodes of Bewitched, which starred his wife, Elizabeth Montgomery.
Okay.
So he was a very big television guy.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a little bit weird him jumping to become the director of Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker.
That is a lot. It doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm. And like he directed other things too. Like he directed, I think, a few episodes of like Twilight Zone and Bad News Bears.
He's directed some movies too, but a lot of them are very like just casual movies that look like a lot of like beach movies.
Yes.
Sexually explicit, perhaps, beach movies. To go from that to this is quite the jump.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So he gets fired for spending too much money.
Not William Asher. That's who replaces the original director. The original
okay.
director is Michael Miller. So, yeah. The rest of the movie, so when you're watching this movie, for those who haven't seen it, first not even 5 minutes, probably like 3 minutes of the movie, which has like this car accident and everything, that's all Michael Miller and his cinematographer that I'm not going to say the name of again because I butchered it.
Okay.
After that, all William Asher.
Okay. Well, that it definitely makes sense because it definitely is a shift in the mood and the lighting and the shooting. You can tell how different it is.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So this is now where we're going to say our spoiler warning because we're going to start talking more about the movie, and then I'll put those little tidbits in as we're talking about it. I would recommend it. I don't know if you guys would recommend it. It's a very weird watch, but if you want a crazy, insane, fun time, this is the movie.
Yeah. It's I will say, the first half hour of it, you think it's going to be a bad movie. Like a very bad movie. And then maybe some acting performances kind of turn up, and you're like, oh, this is... Like, I had a moment where I just started watching for one singular performance, and that kept me enthralled.
Aunt Cheryl?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Aunt Cheryl and the actress who plays her.
Yeah.
Aunt Cheryl plus detective. Those two just carried the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about the detective, too. And I guess I should give a little warning for those of you who are going to watch this movie. There's a lot of slurs being thrown around in this movie, specifically the F slur.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a theme of... There's a question, I think, here where is this movie homophobic or is it anti-homophobic? And with that comes a slur for the gay population, but I think it paints itself as like it paints its homophobia as bad, which I was happy to see and a little bit relieved because I thought in the beginning that they were gonna kind of make this an anti-hero kind of watch for the detective. The detective is very, very homophobic. But they don't do that, which is nice, and so it kept me watching.
Alright, let's start talking about this movie. So, we have our high school senior, Billy Lynch, played by Jimmy McNichol, who we're going to talk about a little bit later, who lives with his protective Aunt Cheryl, who's played by Susan Terrell, an Academy Award-nominated actress. Before this movie. So she was already a highly touted actress at the time. Okay. Who has raised him since infancy after his parents died in a car accident. Just want to stop there. Car accident is awesome. I love this scene. The car flying around the mountains, hearing, like, getting a sense of, like, the time period with, like, the radio being like, oh, the first Super Bowl just happened and the Green Bay Packers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. So it was a good little detail for us to know what year it was without a big flash of, like, 1960, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit of show don't tell, which was nice.
Yeah, and this car, it crashes. We see the dad's head get absolutely obliterated by a log or metal pipe. And we see the car go down the hill, the wife trying to grab onto the steering wheel, and it flies off that hill and smashes into a little river. And then, just for extra touch, it explodes.
You know,
the explosion was definitely like a little over the top. Like, did that need to be in there?
Yeah, unnecessary. We see this log go through the whole car. It flies off a mountain into a river and then explodes. It really is like that comic that like YouTube effect now, just like the like the fire explosion. And I have to say, watching it, I was suddenly like, oh, so Final Destination did not originate the log through the car scenario.
Yeah. Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. Where do you think the shot of the police officer when that first log bounces off and just obliterates him
Yeah.
is
Yep.
Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, baby.
Yeah. How influential. We're talking about an influential film.
I mean, if you're driving that car though, and you see this log coming, you're just gonna sit there and take it straight to the dome? Are you gonna?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he does throw in a my God. But like, and that's why I love it so much, because you see him doing that, and then you get a shot of the car, and it's just going straight to it.
Yeah.
And like they've gone through so many like winding turns before they even get to the log. It's like this car could have flipped off the mountain multiple times through these winding curves, but it just barely hangs on.
Yeah. And then he goes,
my
"Oh no,
God.
I'm right behind a logger. I guess I can't steer away from it."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So-
Ridiculousness right off the bat.
There we go. That sets the tone for the whole movie. Because I remember watching it the first time and being like, that's a crazy car crash. And then the explosion happens. I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of these movies.
Yeah. Where it's like, you thought that was ridiculous? Wait a couple seconds.
So another reason why I chose this one for Hurley is because Billy, our main character, is a gifted basketball player. And I know that Hurley loves basketball. You know, up OKC. They're playing tomorrow, you said, right?
Yeah, game 2 tomorrow. So
Yeah, we'll have to see.
hopefully, Shea just got named MVP tonight. So
It deserved. 100% deserved.
and when you said it was basketball, I'm like, okay, so now we have this title in basketball. And horror, like these three just don't seem to like. I'm like,
Man.
something. This movie's got to be something interesting.
This movie's going to be bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
It's kind of like Sleepaway Camp in a way, right?
Oh God.
Why is there a baseball scene that's like 10 minutes long in that movie? You know, why do we have an entire 2 basketball sequences in this movie?
Yeah. Yeah, we got 2. One was probably enough. One was enough. And honestly, I thought the second one, I thought when he's playing, like when the scouts are looking or watching him, I thought it was gonna suddenly be like, oh, her little poison or whatever didn't work, because it was like, oh, he's doing well.
Bro, he was eating.
Yeah, he was balling.
Yeah.
Bro was having the best game of his life.
Yeah.
And then damn Aunt Cheryl roofying the milk.
She's like, this shit's got to kick in sometime.
I know, and I love the shot after
she is just watching. She's like, oh my God, like steal layup. Like this guy is just cooking them, and she's just in the crowd.
I love that shot because it's like he's already scored the first 6 points for the team, gotten a steal, all of that, and it just goes to her and she's like, when is this gonna kick in? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, we'll get there in a little bit, but yes, Billy's offered a chance at a scholarship to attend the University of Denver. My question is the University of Denver a good basketball school that he's actually getting scouted to?
I don't know. I took that as, oh, it's a film. It's a scholarship. It's a scholarship that pays
to get out of there.
Yeah.
And
See.
I may have misheard this, but I'm pretty sure when they were talking about the scholarship, they're looking at me for like a full ride scholarship. I may have heard that wrong.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then Aunt Cheryl was like, we can't afford college. I'm like, what do you mean you can't afford a full ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how much that would cost on a full ride? Too much.
Yeah, she
Gas.
already has a job set up for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he shouldn't. Yeah. So looking this up, when I literally just looked up the University of Denver, it's a private school, first
Oh.
off.
Oh.
Basketball did not pop up. It was hockey that popped
Oh.
up.
Well,
But
good for them.
let's see, what division are they? They're a Division 1.
Oh, all right.
Oh, all right. Go University of Denver. All right,
Yeah.
so maybe
UD.
back in the 80s that was a big
What conference are they in?
let's see. University of Denver, Div 1, members of the Summit League.
Dude, I actually knew that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah? Is it the
Because like
same league as
the
Arizona?
the two South Dakota schools, like the Division 1 schools, are in the Summit League. So I was like,
Oh.
I didn't know if it was University of Denver. I knew some Denver school was in there, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Oh,
So much
wow.
weird.
Royce O'Neal attended University of Denver.
Okay.
Interesting. Also has an NCAA tournament Sweet 16 appearance in 1992. So,
It was a good year for them.
yeah.
The
Go.
movie made it popular, so then everyone's like, "Oh, I want to go to University of Denver."
That's what it was. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. In what would that be? 1990s.
It
What
was
you
like
say?
10 years later.
10 years later. Yeah. There we go. The high schoolers and middle schoolers were like, "That's where I want to be. That's where I
Mm-hmm.
want to be."
Wow.
Okay.
Look at this. The movie getting people to go to the University of Denver. Who knew how influential this movie was?
Oh man. So all right. So much more ridiculousness, right? I mean, uh, right off the bat, we realize that here's this aunt who is kind of in love or obsessed over her son or nephew or both.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I am just so immediately off put by the entire like aunt's presence. And what I didn't expect is like to be so uncomfortable right off the bat, but then realize like I had to like ask myself why is this so uncomfortable, and then having the second thought of her acting is so good that I am so uncomfortable watching her. It's not the movie, it's definitely not the writing, but it's her whole acting is like her physical mannerisms and the way that she walks and hunches over was just like the whole movie was just honestly I have to say well done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that scene where she's like purring, I was like, is this like some weird like kink thing she got going on, or do
Is
they
this
just have like
cats?
this, or do they just have like some like weird relationship, like funny, like I definitely didn't know what to expect, but and then probably the next few scenes it becomes pretty apparent that she has this weird obsession with him.
Mm.
Yeah, something we're gonna see in definitely in a later scene. Where that obsession starts to take a head because she's also pretty jealous of Billy's girlfriend in the
Yeah.
movie. We're gonna get to all of this. There's a lot that's gonna be happening in this movie. Like we said, it's kind of like it's only an hour and 30 minutes, but so much is packed into that hour and 30-minute runtime.
Yeah, it is.
So Aunt Cheryl very upset with the idea of Billy leaving to go to University of Denver, hits him and goes to sleep. Next day, she's like, you know what? I'm okay with you going to University of Denver. I just needed some time to think about it. And you already know this lying woman. You already know. And she goes into her little, I don't know if it's like a garage or like something like that, which we'll talk about what's in there later in the movie. But she's like, I'll never let him leave. And we're like, okay, what is she planning?
All right, yeah.
I also want to mention that Billy is bullied by one of his teammates on the basketball team, Eddie, who's jealous of Billy and his relationship with the coach of the team, Tom Landers, which is something that's going to come back in the movie. Mm-hmm. So like we say, Billy turns 17 and Cheryl changes her mind about the scholarship and asks Billy to stop on the way to school to the television repairman to have him come to the house. That person's name is Phil Brody, and while he is working on the television, Aunt Cheryl starts making some sexual advances towards him, to which he is like, "You are crazy. No, I'm good. I do not want to."
No, thank you.
To which Aunt Cheryl stabs him to death with a knife in the kitchen, to which Billy witnesses. Aunt Cheryl to Billy starts claiming that Phil Brody tried to rape her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very intense scene here. And a little bit like different from what you would expect of a movie in the 80s to portray. It's very strange seeing the female character being the one pushy, trying to for the time.
Yeah, and then also like there's a few seconds where you think it's like gonna be like, is this set up to be like a revenge kind of movie or not? And then an investigation happens and you think, is this gonna be like an investigative movie the whole time? Like what is happening here? Yeah. It definitely I feel like it's got some untraditional things, and then it shifts quickly between three different premises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. At this point, the detective Carlson, is called in, and he is pretty skeptical about the statement that Aunt Cheryl and Billy give, that it was a rape. And he says that multiple times, like, you have no bruises on you, your dress isn't ripped, kind of signs where you would be able to maybe more so indicate, because 80s, we don't have the same technology that we do nowadays, to where it's a little bit easier to solve it. So he's pretty skeptical of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And for us as an audience, we're like, okay, like there's enough reason for him to be skeptical about it. Like, maybe he's gonna be a smart detective. No. No.
Dude just had his mind made up from the get-go. He's like, he did it, and I'm gonna figure out a way to prove how he did it. I don't care what the actual answer is. I'm gonna stand by that and do whatever I can to get it out of the kid that he did it.
Yeah. You have this like good cop, bad cop thing that happens too, because like while he's doing that, there is a detective that alongside him follows the actual evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sergeant Cook.
Yeah. Sergeant Cook kind of sees, but I mean, I know I'm about to skip to the next scene here, but it's discovered that like the basketball coach was in a gay relationship with this guy who was stabbed, and suddenly from that moment on, the investigator is so convinced that it must be him because he's gay, because homophobia. And that's it.
Yeah, so this is where I want to mention my other piece of, I guess, fun fact, all right? So Jimmy McNichol, at the time, massive heartthrob. Ladies loved him. But within that same vein, there was a lot of questions if the actor was gay in real life. So it adds another layer to this movie of someone in real life who they're like, is he gay? Is he straight? Now we have a character where we have the police who's like, oh, obviously he was holding the knife. It was probably a lover's quarrel. He killed Phil Brody because he wants to be with the coach because he's gay.
Yeah.
So it kind of adds another layer to this movie of like a real life kind of rumor that was going around being a part of the movie.
That's really interesting. Like, do you think there's a connection there with the writing?
I think I honestly, with like I don't want to say with who made it, but like everything around it and what I hear about it, I don't think so. Okay. I think it just ends up being like the perfect casting and perfect circumstances that could add a lot of commentary to the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he was a pretty decently big name at the time. I think he retired in the 90s and became like a real estate agent in Colorado. Yeah, good for him. But
did he get his real estate license at? Did he give real estate education from the University of Denver?
Oh,
selling houses to University of Denver graduates.
Yeah. That should have been the ending when the movie ends and then just the thing comes up. Julie and Billy attended the University of Denver. Thanks, movie. The next line should have been, he is now a real estate agent. That's
funny.
Oh my god. I need to know how the University of Denver is with this movie.
Someone in the upper levels of the directing or something had to have had a connection with University of Denver or something along that lines.
Yeah, because I feel like
it's not like they just, hey Google, give me a random college.
Hey Google, yeah. 1981. Hey Google.
Yeah, because it's so random. It's such a random college to be like, this is the one. Like, were they sponsored by the University of Denver?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know where the school was shot. Maybe the school was near that. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
But didn't the movie the hometown, wasn't that in Arizona somewhere? Because they kept talking about Sedona, Flagstaff.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the film was shot in Los Angeles just because that was where a lot of the studios were at the time. But in terms of the movie's actual location, I don't think they really ever fully commit to a location, a real location. They kind of just mention a few places nearby.
And this is later, towards probably the back half of the movie, when Aunt Cheryl goes on a trip with her friend Marge.
Love Marge.
Mm-hmm. I think they said they were going to Sedona for the day or something.
Okay, so somewhere in Arizona then, maybe.
Yeah, is that the closest college to Arizona? The University of Denver?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe in the 1980s. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so kind of like we mentioned, there's the detective Carlson thinks that there's some sort of love triangle going on, and that Cheryl is protecting Billy. This is where one of the craziest scenes happens in the movie, and is so outrageous to me because this is just the perfect encapsulation of the movie. The detective goes to the house, shoots a perfect 3,
yeah,
calls Billy a slur,
yeah,
gives him pointers for playing
Playing
basketball,
basketball.
and then leaves.
Yeah.
It might be probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
It's so random because he just shoots him, but he's like, man, nice shot. Detective's like, I got a theory.
Yeah. There's something that goes just blatantly wrong so many times with the writing of this detective. No detective, maybe this was not how it was in the 80s, but around the time that what's it called? The FBI was like being, created in the behavioral health stuff. But no one, I haven't heard of a detective going up to people in broad daylight being like, oh yeah, so I think you're gay and that he was gay and that there was a killer on the loose and you felt like killing somebody, and here we are on your sidewalk in the middle of a 4:00 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. Like it just like,
Also, your jump shot's really stiff, so make sure that you loosen up.
right, yeah, it's like, what? Like, no, and almost every scene, even when he goes up to the basketball coach and realizes that he was, in that gay relationship. It's in the middle of practice. It's not like, can we go someplace? It's, hi, I'm with the FBI. Let me talk to you about some confidential case out in the open in front of your players. It's like, what? All
Yeah,
this
he
stuff is,
he
like,
goes up
Coach,
to the
I got a
coach.
question. No, dude, I'm in the middle of practice. He's like, I found this ring.
I found this ring. Yeah.
And guess what? It has initials on it. You're gay. And he's like, you better resign. What is bro gonna do?
Yeah. Well, let me speak to that. Like,
Yeah, at the time,
the time, if that was the homophobia as a culture at the time. Like, if you were caught and you were gay, you'd lose your job. That was the discriminatory stuff.
Yeah, and I think also like adding to that being like a boys basketball coach,
Basketball team, yeah.
it probably adds a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep on going. Detective Carlson, after doing all that to the coach and to Billy, then goes to Julia, and is like, listen, let me talk to you one on one.
Again,
Y'all-
in the middle of the day on a sidewalk.
Yeah. Y'all doing anything? And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, is he strong? Will he protect you? Are you guys doing it?
Like, you're talking about 17-year-olds here, dude. Like,
Yeah. What? How could you be so unsmooth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, sex is already taboo enough today. 40 years ago, going up to a 17-year-old and be like, "Hey, you two making love?" What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think, and after that, isn't that when Julia then goes over to the house and they do it? Or is that after the basketball game?
no, it's before the basketball game.
Because
I think it is after that scene. That's where she.
either that or it's another one of like Aunt Cheryl like freaking out in the garage, which we still don't know why she's freaking out in the garage yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that first shot where like they're getting ready to have sex, whatever, and you see her kiss his nipple. I swear to God, my first thought was, please don't be the aunt.
Yeah.
It was like, please don't have him be unconscious, and also.
Oh, the aunt gets freaky later. Mm-hmm. The aunt
But then
gets
they pan to the outside of the house and like looking in while he's getting a drink, and you're like, okay, so who's looking in? And you think it's the aunt,
Right? Yeah.
or at least I thought it. I was like, oh, the aunt's coming back from her trip.
Yeah.
She's gonna walk in, but I think it ended up being the other like sidekick detective, right?
Yeah, it was the sergeant looking in that we kind of find out later. It's the sergeant that was looking in at least to the window, but the aunt does walk in uh, on Billy and Julia, and she's like, "Get this little slut out of my house."
Oh my gosh, yeah. Her like acting
Yeah.
turns up to like 10 immediately, and like this was one of those moments where it was like, you know what? This is the first time where it's very warranted. You know, it's like protective mother.
Mm.
Fine, you know,
And it adds another layer knowing that like she's jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. And this
Ugh.
is totally a coincidence, but one of the other movies that Susan Tyrrell stars in is called Jealousy.
There we go.
Connecting the dots.
We told you. It all comes together.
Everything is real.
Yeah. And then, so Julia walks outside, and then the other detective scares the crap out of her. And he's like, listen, I got a question for you. Were y'all doing it and then got caught?
It's like another guy in his 40s watching through the window.
Yeah,
Two
hiding in
17-year-olds,
hiding in the trees, like at 9 o'clock at night, asking a 17-year-old, was she doing things with her boyfriend?
Guys, it's fine. He's a person of the law. Don't you know they can do anything? Oh, man.
So at this point, I guess I should mention this scene. We just get butt shots of Jimmy McNichol, of Billy, going into the shower, having an argument with Aunt Cheryl, who just walks in as he's about to go in the shower. Apparently, during that scene, during test screenings, the girls in the audience, like, screamed when...
Oh, because he was a heartthrob.
Yeah, he was a heartthrob back then.
Oh, people are like, oh my gosh, his butt. Which, he was on Little House on the Prairie. That's where he got big. So that's where he became the heartthrob. I think he played the dad figure. Yeah. Which only until recently I had not seen.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my mom's favorite shows. She loves Little House on the Prairie.
Laura Ingalls Wilder from South Dakota. Shameless plug.
What do you know about South Dakota?
That's where I grew up.
Yeah. Claim to fame there with Little House.
And Bob Barker.
Oh, and Bob Barker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, at this point, Aunt Cheryl's like, you know what? It's time to roofie the milk. So, she drugs the milk, makes him drink it before he goes to his basketball game, as we mentioned before. He's balling. At this point, maybe 2 minutes into the game, 6 points, rebound, his steal. He's cooking. Goes to the line. Starts getting hazy from there. And I love when he misses that first free throw and it just goes absolutely silent.
Everyone's like,
Yeah. Like, that was the sign that something was wrong. Him missing one free throw. The entire school went silent.
Yeah.
And then, like, after the miss, like, he missed it pretty badly. Everyone's like, oh, shit, what's going on with him? Mm-hmm. Then, like, ref bounces it back to him for the second shot. And he just, like, I don't know if he was dribbling it or holding it, but it just, like, he was, like, holding it for, like, 10 seconds. It was like, is he just going to keep holding it and, like, never shoot it?
Mm-hmm. You like pass out on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to pass out right there.
But... Yeah, same.
Yeah, but they wait until there's a rebound, a fast break, and he goes and he smashes into that wall.
Yeah. You know, in a similar fashion to the parents at the beginning, he also couldn't put on the brakes.
Oh.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Look at the writing in this movie.
Phenomenal.
To which, I love this scene too, how Julia runs over to him and is like, Billy, are you okay? Aunt Cheryl runs down, yanks Julia over, and then puts her, like, entire mouth on Billy. I was like, Billy, you okay?
Oh man, yeah.
Billy, we're going home now.
Yeah, we're not going to the hospital. We are going home now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like no one else in the stadium is gonna question not
No
going
one
to the
else.
hospital. Like,
Yeah.
nah, we're just gonna go home.
Looks like he's gonna go home with his mom. That's good. We'll let that happen.
Oh, we'll just
Okay.
finish the game. You guys go home.
Yeah.
He got us 6 points. Thanks. Thanks, Billy.
Yeah. I wonder, did they win? Who knows?
Undertone.
Surely they rallied in his misery.
For Billy.
Yeah. Or do you think they were like for Aunt Cheryl?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? He must have done good enough because at the end he attends the University of Denver. Doesn't say that he got the scholarship though, just that he attended it.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm. He didn't get the incestual mom/aunt grant for him.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he didn't get the Norman Bates scholarship.
Norman Bates. Friends of Norman Bates Scholarship.
Yeah.
For those affected by mass brutal killing in their families. This scholarship recognizes the trauma and the resiliency needed to prevail in a higher institution after such brutal, bloody, incestual violence in a student's life.
Sponsored by the Bates Motel. Oh my gosh. So at this point, we then go back to our Sergeant Cook talking to Detective Carlson. He's like, listen, I've been looking into Aunt Cheryl. She's kind of a weirdo. And starts naming facts. And Detective Carlson's like, but gay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Sergeant Cook's like, that's the end scene.
Okay, let's
Get out of my office.
It's also, is this the where he's with the gun? Is that the same scene?
No, that's the next one.
Okay, all right.
With the with
Yeah. Well, the next time. Okay, so this happens again where the good police guy walks in with some hard facts, and the investigator is pointing a gun at some Spanish-speaking dude while he's sitting on the ground, and that doesn't get acknowledged at all. He is threatening to shoot somebody in his office, and the police officer's like, "Yeah, somebody got these facts," and he said, "Leave." Or whatever he says.
Yeah, he's like, get out of my office.
said,
Donde está?
Okay, let's not acknowledge what's happening. If I'm walking into an office and someone's pointing a gun at somebody, I don't know. That seems, even if I'm a cop, it's like, what is this happening in the office? Don't we have rooms for this?
I think it does establish like that he has a gun, foreshadowing like towards the ending of the movie. I guess I didn't think about that until just kind of now, but like,
I think it also just shows how horrible of a person like he is. Like we really are not supposed to be rooting for this man.
No, yeah.
So, Billy wakes up, and he starts going around the house, and he ends up finding a photo of Chuck that Aunt Cheryl earlier in the movie claims was one of his mother's old boyfriends. During this time, he kind of realizes, oh, that wasn't one of my mother's old boyfriends. That was your old boyfriend. And he also finds his birth certificate upstairs, realizing that Aunt Cheryl is actually his mother, and that Chuck is his real father.
I mean, the picture he finds of Chuck, I'm like, they low key look similar.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just making stuff up, but like the picture of Chuck that he finds, like kind of like is an older version of him.
They do, and I wonder if they use like Jimmy McNichol's father.
Yeah, because looking on here, at least on the cast, there's no one for Chuck as like a listed character. So it could either be that, or it could be his real life dad, Jimmy McNichol's dad in real life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have just been a coincidence that I found a picture and someone
Yeah.
looked like him, but I thought that picture like kind of looked like him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, as he's doing all of this, he has Julia go to the house to distract Aunt Cheryl so that he can investigate a little bit. During this time, Cheryl has cut her hair. Is You could tell now she's off the deep end
Having a little bit
at this
DB.
point. And I love Marge's reaction to the haircut too. Her boy would be
Oh
like,
my god, that is fabulous.
yeah. And then the secret little
Nod of the head, the shaking of the head, like nope.
I think she is one of the funniest characters in this movie. I wish we had a little bit more of her, like, and she's in other scenes that we just haven't talked to her, like, about her, and like she walks in after Aunt Cheryl kills Phil Brody. She's been in the house a few other times, but she comes in a little bit too late from when Cheryl strikes Julia in the head with a meat tenderizer. Aunt Cheryl brings the body to, and looking at it now on here, it says a secret room in the basement. So it's not a little garage, it's a basement, apparently.
But I swear, like, because they do, I think she does say basement later in the movie, or someone says basement later in the movie, but I
They said, look
swear,
in the basement. Yep.
I swear she, like, walks outside and, like, down the stairs, and then it shows her in the basement. So maybe there's, like, an entrance to the basement from outside. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I was confused too, because it does show her walking outside to a different building.
Yeah.
Could be like a raised basement kind of deal. Where you can, like,
It could be
in the basement from the ground. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This isn't the reason why. I'm not gonna be like, man, I'm gonna dock points for this movie.
Yeah, it's not
because
like a regular movie. There's plenty that does that by itself.
Yeah. And then of course our lovely Aunt Cheryl roofies Billy again, but this time that dose is a lot. She just pours the whole thing in.
Yeah. Which at this point, how am I not drinking this milk going? Something ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah, Aunt Cheryl, is this bad? Is this
Just tastes a little funny.
is this roofie? Like,
yeah. Let's say, is this roofie? Can you taste it for me? I'm not sure.
yeah. So Julia wakes up in the room, and this is where we kind of see where Aunt Cheryl has been going, talking to someone. It's Chuck's mummified corpse and his severed head in a jar. And she has a whole shrine for him.
Oh, it's severed head in a jar. I didn't see that. I just saw the skeleton.
So they showed the skeleton in a previous scene after she had, like, ripped. This might have been, like, right after the basketball game. Like, she was, like, so furious, like, that he's like trying to get away. And then she went down and ripped, because she had boarded up that area. She ripped out the boards and went in there, and they only showed the skeleton with, like, the shrine. But then when she put Julia down there, Julia wakes up, sees the skeleton, turns around. It's like a quick, maybe like 2 seconds with the head in the jar.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very quick.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, and at this point, Margie is now like, there's something weird going on here. And this is where I'm like, Margie, I love you. What are you gonna do? What is your plan here?
But when Margie and I can't remember who else was in the kitchen.
There's Margie, Billy,
Yeah,
yeah,
Margie and Billy were in the kitchen because Billy had came around to the front door and walked in, and Margie and Cheryl were in there. And
Right.
Billy's like, "Oh, did Julie come by?" And I'm like, "Oh no." And then Aunt Cheryl just whips open the fridge, blood splattered all over. No one else in the kitchen seems to see it. I'm like,
oh yeah.
um,
She
No one's
grabs
gonna
that milk.
react to
She
that?
starts wiping the,
yeah,
the blood off.
let me get this out of here.
Oh, sorry. The cherries exploded again. I'm sorry. I mean, just it happens all the time.
And like she hit her with a meat tenderizer. Like there's probably some like
Yes.
skin or something in there. Like
I like how the motion of the cleaver, and it's not like a blade. It's just a blunt meat cleaver. It's just one. It's not even a one more wind up. It's just a boom, and and she keeps it there almost as if she's like stabbed her head. But it's just like I'm gonna keep pressing it, and that I guess knocks her out.
listen, Aunt Cheryl is yoked.
Yeah.
She
She's swinging
she's
that
a
thing.
yeah, she's a muscle mommy. I mean we're gonna see later. She's gonna start taking out everyone. Like
I want Aunt Cheryl and Jason's mom in a fight right now.
oh, Aunt Cheryl is taking out Jason's mom. By the end of that movie, Jason's mom, Pamela Voorhees, bro, her hips are getting destroyed. Like Aunt Cheryl, she's a first round pick in the draft. I ain't gonna
Oh, she
lie.
was moving.
Yeah, she probably runs like a 4.3 40 when she was moving.
She's got the hunt for it too.
Oh my gosh. And so Margie is in the house, and this is the scene where it's so nasty because she's going to roofie Billy again after he wakes up, dumping this milk on him, and he's like bleh, 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 not like trying to drink it, and she's like, "Oh, I need to wipe up the milky that's on you," and starts like patting him down. It cuts to Margie like trying to hide, cuts back to then that scene to Aunt Cheryl licking him from his upper chest all the way up to his face.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Nastiest scene in the movie. Every time I always like forget that happens in the movie, but now because I've watched it so much, now I'm gonna remember it. It's always such a jump scare when it happens. I'm always like, oh my god.
Yeah, the cuts are so odd, and I don't. They're just so odd. So to be back and forth, and you think like, okay, I'm done. Oh no, it's back, and it's worse. And she's licking him. Is just. I feel like this movie just like punches you over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Margie, she's like, you know what? It's time to leave. So at this point, she's gone out, but it's too late for her. Aunt Cheryl, she kills her with a machete. Where'd she get the machete?
Who cares?
Sonoma. She just has a machete now. She cuts into Margie.
Yeah, slashes her stomach. Throws her down onto the rock.
Yeah, R.I.P. Margie. And then Aunt Cheryl goes after Julie, and that is when Sergeant Cook comes in because he has made the discovery of everything, and said because there's a phone call that we see earlier of Julie's parents calling like, where is she? She was supposed to pick me up. And Sergeant Cook's like, oh, I'm gonna check Aunt Cheryl's crib. He gets killed. Hand chopped off.
Clean.
I knew when
Must have been
One
a
chop.
really heated blade.
I knew when Julie was like running through like the woods that it was him chasing her, not Aunt Cheryl. I was like, you're running from the person that's trying to help you, and then she runs straight into the danger. into the little shed.
Yep, trapped.
Oh shit! Got a
Yep.
machete.
And Aunt Cheryl, like I said, yoked. Her bench press has to be like 35, 36, the way that she's cutting through people. Like, she needs to be playing offensive line.
Oh my gosh.
She cuts through his hand, and then she just finishes the job, murks him. To which then she grabs a little tiny hatchet and starts running after her.
I mean, is that what this is like? Where the butcher? Well, I guess never mind with the knives. I was thinking.
Yeah, like it's like a kind more of a cleaver, but it's a
Yeah,
hatchet.
cleaver. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, but it is a hatchet. Yep.
Yeah, to which Julie discovers the body of Margie, screams, and Aunt Cheryl comes out. She takes the biggest swing right into Margie's knee, and it is lodged in there. I was like, damn, how strong is she?
Margie's just taking another hit for no reason.
Yeah, so much that it gets stuck is like crazy, and she's like, oh, she's like, you can see her like trying to get it back. Oh man, yeah, craziness.
Oh my god, it is so like how strong. I need to like know how strong she is. Like I said, Pamela Voorhees done for. Norman Bates done for. You know, who's beating Aunt Cheryl?
No one. Well, almost no one.
Yeah, almost no one. She then chases her to a pond, and they get into a little fight to where Julie gets hit in the head like 5 times with a rock.
How is she not knocked out 5 times from a rock, but 1 time from the meat hammer?
Cleaver.
Like,
That can be.
And also, we see Aunt Cheryl is taking people out after 1 hit.
Julie just
Spoiler
eating
alert.
these shots.
She's alive. She eats it.
Yeah. It is crazy, and they're in the water. It's a random like water setting. It almost seems forced.
Yeah.
It definitely forced. Like, yeah, let's put them in the water, and it's not this kind of like sexy thing either. It's like, let's just make them fight in the water.
Yeah, it's like mud wrestling.
It's
like
Yeah.
this guy, Aunt Cheryl's like,
And Cheryl's choking her out, drowning her. It's like, oh, she's finally going to kill Julie. Nope, switcheroo. Julie's now choking and drowning Aunt Cheryl.
yeah.
And
Then Aunt Cheryl gets her rocking. Mink, 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 mink. You're like, damn.
And I have a question. Did you guys Is it just the viewing that I had where the sound didn't line up at times, or did that happen to you guys too? And I noticed it especially in this fight scene, like they'd be drowning, but like you would hear one scream after the person was already in the water.
Yeah, the sound doesn't fully line up there.
Okay, all right. I was okay. So it wasn't just me. There were a couple other moments like that in the movie too, where I was like, "Why is the sound design so bad?"
Yeah, I think they were just adding in screams in post, and then
Yes.
it doesn't
Did not
fully
line.
line. It's like a second off
Yeah,
for some of it.
it does not line up. Okay, wow, that's pretty bad.
I didn't.
That's
I
a
don't,
pretty bad
I don't
look.
think I noticed, but
Oh, okay.
I'm not a movie.
Honestly, doesn't take away from me. It doesn't take
Yeah.
away anything from
I
me.
mean, it definitely it adds to the the weirdness of the movie. So
Yeah. So now Billy's trying to escape. He's stumbling downstairs. He's trying to call the police. Then Cheryl attacks him. And Billy is
he
able to
dials
defend himself.
911. You're like, oh, he's got it. Aunt Cheryl just come from
he's got
behind him.
it.
Boom. No, you're not. Who do you think you're calling?
But also, he's calling 911. Who do you think's gonna show up? It's Detective Carlson. Why are you calling him?
Good point. Good point. Mm-hmm.
Ah, man. So he is able to fight her off and impales her with a fireplace poker. Or is that the second time that he stabs her with the fireplace poke? I don't know. She comes back to life. It's one of those where in horror, villain has to come back one more time. But she dies. Billy kills her.
He's like, I killed my mom. Psych. Here she comes.
Yeah. Yeah. And what she does, I mean, he calls the coach, which I think is like, this is the confirmation that like, oh, there was a relationship there. Is that what we're supposed to?
They were close. I don't think there's any suggestion of anything other than like he trusts him.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like he's sort of like that kind of maybe like father figure for him.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I think that could be. That
yeah, just because of it is mentioned how close they are, but I think it's just like you said, Hurley. It's a father figure for him since he just had Aunt Cheryl and Margie, and I don't think Margie's husband Frank was doing much.
Bro was doing a whole lot of nothing other than honking the horn in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, and dissing on the pickled vegetables.
The pickled vegetables, yeah, the pickled tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I also, that's why I love Margie so much. Make sure you say something about the pickled tomatoes. They were terrible.
They were
Frank,
terrible.
if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say it at all. Oh man.
Turns out that was the moral of the movie.
Yeah. So the coach comes to the house, and that is when also the detective now has seen all of the dead bodies. And he's like, I've got you. You are gay. This is the confirmation. To which Julie comes in and is like, no. I just got beaten in the head 5 times by a rock. To which the detective's like, take her outside, get her treatment. They're gay.
She's not feeling well. Take her home.
Yeah, take her home. Give her some milk. Oh my god. So, yeah. They get into a fight, the coach and Carlson, to which Billy gets the weapon, and he shoots Carlson. This is now where I have my biggest question about the movie. Because we see the other police character with Julie, and him walk in and see a detective shot and a potential suspect holding the gun, and he just goes, why?
I think it's supposed to be like he also hates this guy.
But just because you hate the guy, like, okay, we can. This is why, like, I have the issue with it, right?
Okay.
Yes, he is a horrible person, the detective. We could agree with that. The death, very satisfying. Now let's pull it back a little bit. What did the detective do that was, like, fully illegal? Besides, he did threaten the one guy in his office, but who else knows that? No one. He was just a horrible person.
Well, the guy walked in on the guy on him pointing the gun at the.
Yeah, but he's dead. He didn't. We don't know if he told anyone.
It's true. I don't know.
So why is Billy just okay at this? And then of course, like, Julie embraces him, and Billy cries, and they both cry, and then that's when the words pop up on the screen that Billy stood trial for Carlson's death, but was acquitted due to temporary insanity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Temporary insanity. That's it. He was good. They give him a pass.
Oh, and also, they attended the University of Denver. Roll credits.
Seal, the stamp, seal, ending.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? I know this is... we're recording this on a Wednesday. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm emailing the University of Denver. I'm being like, listen, you gotta sponsor this video we're doing on Butcher Maker Nightmare Maker.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully somebody knows.
No free ads.
No free ads. Yeah, we're not going to mention that college anymore until we get paid for the publicity we're giving it.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna make it back
Oh
to
my
the Sweet
gosh.
16.
There we go. That's what will help them.
Yeah.
Our video.
Listen, I'm going to tell my students, my basketball students, I'm like, listen, I know a really good basketball college for you to go to. Oh my gosh. That's Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. I love this movie. There's so many issues with it. There's so many issues with it. But it's just it's a fun time. It's a movie where you could just watch it mindlessly, laugh at all the stupid things that happen, and it's so fast paced that it doesn't feel long at all.
No, it I thought it flew by, honestly. Like, I was like, oh, like, like the ending happened. I'm like, oh, wow, we're done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't a good movie, but the action, like nonstop action and crazy insanity going on, is just like keeps you on your toes. Was I don't think I jumped at anything, which I don't think there's like I don't think there was any jump scares in this, but so it's kind of like more of like a comedic horror, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like
I think
funny,
I
stupid.
compared a lot to Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, I was actually gonna message you when I was watching this. I was like, why does this give me like a similar feeling to Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah, it's one of those movies that Sleepaway Camp is very much so a B movie. This is also a B movie, but it's so good that you start to question, is this actually a B movie or is it a little bit better than that? And both have a lot of themes, and funny enough, they both share some themes, a lot of like, LGBTQ themes, some portrayal of homosexuality. I mean, in Sleepaway Camp, you have the two dads,
That's one of the
so
most bizarre endings of a movie.
yeah. So I also want to mention before we do our thing that we always do at the end of our podcast talking about a movie is how a lot of people write about how this has an inversion of the final girl trope. So I know we watched a lot of like horror movies on your stream, Hurley, a lot of crazy ones, but let's think it to like Barbarian, right? How we have a final girl. She is our character that we're rooting for, all of that. This movie kind of switches it, and Billy is our final girl.
Mm-hmm.
And usually in these movies, you have sometimes a helpful boyfriend role. In Barbarian, you really don't have that because Bill Skarsgård, spoiler alert, is killed very quickly. But in this one, kind of Julie is that role in the movie. So I think it's interesting how it kind of flips that trope on its head for a movie in the 80s. I mean, now we talk about films from the 2020s that everything is different. They're bending rules. They're trying so many different things and genres and blending. To have a movie in the 80s that does that while also having so many themes of homosexuality that isn't just negative. Just something interesting to think about. So something that we like to do at the end of talking about our movies is to do a one sentence review. So it could be funny. It could be serious. Bill likes to do like a Rotten Tomatoes type sentence when he does it. I usually go for something a little bit sillier. So I'll give you a second to think about it. And also, guys, don't worry, Nick will be back. He just has to, his dog is barking a lot, so he's just checking what's up with that.
Oh, man. You're gonna make me go first, too, huh?
I could jump first. That's all right. All right, my sentence is going to be, Margie should have been the final girl in this movie.
She just came in at like all like the peak moments just to like add that little extra flavor.
Yeah, hey, that's Margie for you. Then saddest anime deaths.
So a one sentence review.
Yep, one sentence review.
Oh God, did we do this 5 years ago? Or is
No, this is something recent.
Is this the new iteration of the Three Strangers?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I need to catch up on the last few episodes. Slacking.
Yeah. Shameless plug. Check out the Caitlin Aaron O'Neill pod that we did. Had a lot of fun talking about Jennifer's body in it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so Letterboxd one sentence review.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. On Cheryl, low key bad.
That is not what I was expecting.
Before the
I had to
haircut.
process. Pre-haircut.
Brave enough to say something that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we went with two funny ones, Nick. So let's see. Are you gonna continue this trend, or are you gonna go for serious?
The original title of this film is Night Warning. And shit, I don't know. That wasn't going to be good. I don't know what to say about this movie. I'm going to say I think I'm just going to go serious and say sometimes even the most ridiculous incestuous story can be carried by good acting.
Yeah. And there's your night warning.
And there's your night warning.
There we go. Man, I should have, you know what? I should have said something like the three of us watching this is like the three in the tub, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
Oh no. The three of us are in the tub.
Yeah, if you take anything away from this podcast, number one, attend the University of Denver. Number two, watch this in a tub.
And make sure to smell your milk before you taste it.
Yes. Smell your
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That's
Three strangers tips.
Smell your milk before you drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you may
That's going to be our that's our rules for this episode. Number one, attend the University of Denver. Number two, watch in a tub. Number three, always smell your milk.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
There we go. With that all being said, thank you everyone for listening and watching. Thank you, Hurley, for being here. You know, like we said, we got beef with Bill. It's that damn Blair Witch Project episode. I said, you better be ready, Hurley, because I'm going to be calling you back for an episode when we do our Blair Witch Project special.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're getting a poll on who likes this movie and who doesn't.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a massive fight in here. I will now become Switzerland. Like, I'm gonna be in the middle of it. I'm gonna be
Cheryl.
Taking out every.
Oh no! Oh god! What side would she take?
I think.
She probably. I don't think she would, because she says a lot about like deviancy.
Oh, do those kids' parents know they're out?
Yeah. Is the Blair Witch homosexual? Because you remember what she said. She was like, "They're sick. They're sick."
Oh, that's right. She does say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one more thing I do want to mention with this movie. Any character that is like against people, like the gay couple within it, or like speaks poorly of people who are homosexual, all get brutally murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. There's that positive note.
Yeah, you know what? They slip in the F slur about like 30 something times.
Mm-hmm.
They're dead.
They're dead.
See you later.
See you later.
So, like I was saying, thank you everyone for listening and watching. Thank you, Nick, for being here. Bill, we will see you next time. We will be talking about Mr. Crockett next time. Weird little movie on Hulu that I think will be an interesting thing to talk about. So be on the lookout for that. And always remember, we already said the 3 rules that we're supposed to remember. We're adding a 4th one.
Okay.
Something that Nick and I was not brave enough to say, but Hurley was able to say. Aunt Cheryl is a baddie.
Hey.
Who runs a 4.3 40-yard dash. 35 bench press reps.
Nope. No thanks. I'll pass.
If we're going down in a fight, I want her on my side.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns draft her 1st overall next year. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All